Municipal Information Systems Association of California, and we got 3 awards. The Visual Information Award app for developing and tracking the homeless camps around town. This was an innovative effort. The app allows a homeless camp to be tagged and then route services or to clean up to the site. They also received an Excellence in IT Practices Award where the team was rated as outstanding. This is a huge achievement as the program is designed to be a complete audit of the organization. So the next time you see the IT colleague, give them a high five or congratulate them on the well done. There is one other award that I want to congratulate them on. They were just awarded a $100,000 grant from the Public Utilities Commission to fund a comprehensive broadband plan for the city. I want to thank Josh for leading that effort. You may recall that we allocated ARPA funding for that effort, and so that basically frees up those dollars for future implementation. Now shifting to update of a lot of the construction projects in and around town. So we'll be paving, adding temporary striping, and adding permanent striping throughout the week. In Laguna Lake neighborhoods, we've had some temporary striping. We've swept some of the affected areas and cleaned the streets. We're adding the permanent striping throughout the week on various streets, which will result in Madonna Road and Los Osos Road having some lane closures. And we plan to work on this from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. In the North Broad Choro Foothill neighborhoods, improvements are at the intersection of Broad and Lincoln are almost complete, and we'll continue to work to improve curb ramps. Expect the work in this neighborhood to happen from 7 to 4, and then we'll be adding permanent striping on Ramona Drive, Cerro Romaldo, and Patricia Drive, which result in lane closures all week. And we plan to have work on this from 7 to 4 p.m. Sewer replacement work on this neighborhood is almost complete. A full closure is expected on Ramona Drive between Palomar and Verde Drive all week long. Now shifting to downtown, this week we'll be adding the permanent striping to streets we repave and adding temporary striping to last week's pavement. We plan to work on a different street each day, which will result in lane closures all week. The work is expected to occur from about 10 p.m. at night, and they work all night to 10 a.m. And we'll be repaving at the beginning of the week in areas we missed last week, and we plan to have lane closures at those intersections, and you can expect those areas to be paved from 3 a.m. to 10 a.m. We also plan to complete the transportation mobility improvements on north of Higuera and the Homo streets later this week, so continuing that work. We'll be adding the commemorative bronze medallions to our completed bike medians during the middle of the week. In the Railroad District, we plan to repave the parking lot, which is largely done, and the roundabout at Railroad Avenue, and at the beginning of the week we'll be adding permanent striping. Completed work, we've completed the transportation and mobility improvements on the east corner of Higuera and Nopoma streets, and the curb ramps are now fully accessible, so a lot of work. So that's this year's paving work, which is a mouthful. And so now we're already thinking about summer of 2023. So I just want to let the community know if you have ideas about how you want to provide input about specifically the areas that we plan to pave as part of our pavement management plan. We'll be holding a workshop on Tuesday, October the 25th from 5 to 7 p.m. It's an open house style. And so the planned projects include Monterey Street from California to Santa Rosa, California Boulevard to Phillips to Monterey, Johnson Avenue, Bouchon to Laurel, Santa Barbara Avenue from left to Broad, Orchid Street, Palm Street, and Laurel Street. I won't go all to the additional details. And so this is a significant effort moving forward, and this is a ripe opportunity for us to implement key pieces of our active transportation plan. So as we continue to do repaving, that's our shot to make sure that we're implementing projects that the community wants and consistent with our goals. So shifting from moving cars to parking cars, we want to report on the access and parking management plan. So the active transportation committee meeting was moved from November 17th to November 3rd. So we'll be highlighting this, but in case you went to the downtown breakfast and you had November 17th in your books, we had to move that because we had too much of an agenda that night. And then the Planning Commission meeting is still the same. We've been making a lot of improvements downtown. I think 50% of the two-sided signs are done. We're working on some changes to each of the pay stations to extend the duration of the timeout period. You'll see some other enhancements, and we are really seeing an uptick of people using the app. And I think the last numbers we saw is about 27% of our transactions people are using the app. So that's slowly growing, and we'll certainly have more information for you here in the future. With that, I want to invite Bea Makakau, our DEI manager, up and talk a little bit about how we've collaborated recently on a regional symposium and to build some momentum in our region.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the council. Really excited to share with you that on October 5th, the City of SLO co-hosted its inaugural Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Symposium for Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo counties at the Santa Maria Fair Park. 125 people across those counties participated in the program, and the event's theme was moving from words to action, integrating diversity, equity, and inclusion into your organization. Participants heard from Dr. Isom, Cal Poly's Chief Diversity Officer, on how to become change makers within our organizations to advance DEI and how we can tackle complex problems with informed solutions. The remainder of the day included 2 informational panels on inclusive organizational culture, which I'm proud to say was made up of our SLO City and county staff from HR, PD, and behavioral health, and a panel on new generation recruiting. This was an exciting first step in building coalition across our regions and our shared efforts to become more inclusive, welcoming, and equitable communities. Thank you.
Thanks, Bea. It was an exciting day for all of us, and I really appreciate all the commitment it took to pull that off. Just a couple more slides. Just want to talk a little bit about the Ready, Set, Go wildfire preparedness town halls. They are the best ways to prepare for wildfire, to ready the home and the property, create action and emergency communication plans, and how and when to evacuate. We had about 70 people participate, and then if you want more information, you can go to slowcity.org/wildfire, and a big thanks to St. Louis Coastal for letting us their facilities. The next item, just want as we approach the holiday season, we've got the annual Boo Bash on October 28th from 5 to 9, includes a movie over at Meadow Park. We'll have ranger educational hikes on November 6th at Reservoir Canyon. And then Rec is Rad are continuing our events from 3:30 to 5 in October, held on Tuesdays at Johnson Park. Also, just want to share some data with the community about the investments that we've made as we go to the next slide. The Railroad Safety Trail, Path to Pepper, is already serving about 800 peds and bikes per day. So thus far, it's carried over 116,000 ped and 43,000 bike trips since its opening. So a big shout out to SLOCOG for all of its work and its support. We can see how these connections really can make a difference in our community. And last, I just want to public safety recognition. Over the weekend, the Elks Lodge honored public safety members at their annual First Responders Dinner. From the police department, Sergeant Brian Trainer received the award along with our neighborhood outreach manager, Christine Wallace, for service. And then engineer Patrick Larson was honored for always going above beyond the duty. And Engineer Larson has a true servant's heart, and we're lucky to have him serve in our community. And I encourage you, if you don't know Patrick, to get to meet him and learn about some of the stories. He has done some great things on duty and off duty. And with that, that concludes my report.